And good morning, high school football fans. Welcome to the High School Sports Roundup on ESPN Radio, Savannah Hilton Head, the ESPN app, ESPNCoastal.com. PJ Zucco here with you. It's all fueled by End Market here on the Roundup as well. But PJ Zucco here with you as we take a look at some huge high school football games from last night all around the Savannah Hilton Head area and some big wins by some Savannah Hilton Head area teams, some tough losses as well. But that's how it goes on any given Friday night here in the high school football season. But want to start here as I feel like on a day like today and what today is, you can really only start with one thing. And that is, of course, 20 years ago today. Going through what we went through there with the terrorist attacks in New York and really all across the country. As you had the Pentagon struck, you had Flight 93 in Pennsylvania going down in Pennsylvania as well. And no matter what, no matter how you look at it, all those lives lost now 20 years ago. And I think that a moment in time that you have certain moments, I know it's cliche and can be, but you have moments in time that everyone remembers where you were when you experienced such a thing. When it's something like that, we all experienced it together. I know I'll date myself, whatever. I don't care. I 7 years old when that all happened. Wasn't really able to process exactly what was going on, but knew it was amazingly terrible and something that should never have happened and should never happen again. And just going through that, processing that, and having to learn all about it. Of course, having a dad that ended up responding to that, what was already in the military, had to go overseas a few years after that, and living through that, you certainly learn about it all real quick. But today is obviously a day of not only remembrance, but I think it's actively remembering and actively staying vigilant and not only remembering and not forgetting what happened, but also continuing to fight for that, something like that to not happen again. And remember how we responded to that as well. Remembering how we responded to that as a country. And I feel like a lot of people have said and remembered a united nation after that, probably I don't know about more so, but equal to, the highest amount of unification that the country has had and seen, throughout our history. So you talk about that, remember that, keep that in mind as you move forward throughout your day. And I mean, not only today, right? Well, we say it about a lot of things, but not only today, but moving forward as well and applying it to every single day. And just thinking about, of course, how all that affected all that transpired on that day, affected so many lives, whether that be, of course, remembering those lives that were lost on that day, whether it be, just a bystander, just a normal person, or whether it be a member of the military or a member of a first responder. That and Christian had a really good point on Second Down yesterday that was really poignant, thinking of those first responders and not only what they went through on that day, the ones we lost on that day who saved people. And there's people who are alive that day because of them, and maybe they're not. And there's also first responders who are still dealing with the effects of what they did that day, charging into, a burning building, a building that's about to collapse, and saving people. And they were able to get out, but still dealing with the effects of whether it be their lungs or their body or whatever with what they inhaled, still dealing with that. And just I think everyone knows personally first responders, whether it be family, friends, distant friends, whatever. But to think human nature is to save yourself, right? To get out, to run away from those kind of instances in any way you can. And those that are first responders and those that actively worked on that day and helped during that day turned around and ran in to the danger, ran in, and they do. I mean, they do it every day, right? But that on such a huge scale, obviously, running in and doing what they need to do just to save their fellow man. So not only remember the ones that did that on that day 20 years ago, as we're going through the morning right now, right? As we speak, things were happening as we speak. The attacks were happening, and we were all digesting it and trying to just process what was even happening. As I'm sure a lot of people, whether they were my age or not, just still couldn't. So just to remember all that today, and of course, not only not only the people that we lost and the things that we lost, but also the ones that are still going through the effects of what they did that day, and still going through the effects of the people that they helped that day in their own bodies and in their own lives. And consider helping out. I'm sure there's there's of course plenty of foundations to help out people like that for sure. And Christian brought up John Stewart and the work that he's doing to be able to support and help those people. So especially, I think that's certainly a poignant and a smart thing to think about for sure if you're looking to do that. But no, absolutely, just want to take note of that, and again, just not only to not forget and to remember what happened, but also to actively pursue that kind of united nation, that kind of united people that we were in response to 9/11 and in response to everything that happened. But again, high school football was played last night. Did want to start the show with that, though, as I feel like obviously that the most important thing on this day. But high school football, big high school football games last night all around the area. Some huge wins for some Savannah and Hilton Head area teams there as well. Of course, last night you heard it here on ESPN Radio Savannah Hilton Head, ESPN app, ESPNcoastal.com, ESPN's high school coverage of Benedictine Cadets football presented by Savannah Toyota, and the Cadets able to get the huge victory there over North Oconee last night in that one for the Cadets. It's 48-17 for the Cadets over North Oconee, and a huge victory for the Cadets' first win of the season for Benedictine. You heard it right here with Christian and Kevin on the call. And also last night, New Hampstead traveled down to Brunswick High. Sadly, not the same result there for the Phoenix, as Brunswick High gets the victory 52-24. You heard that one and saw that one here on ESPNcoastal.com with our ESPN High School Game Day Game of the Week, fueled by End Market, brought to you by the Savannah and Low Country Honda dealers. And Brunswick High able to run the football real well last night. And New Hampstead still able to fight back quite a bit. Got it within 2 scores a few times after a fast start by Brunswick High. But the 6A school there obviously able to use the depth there, and just their talent, being able to run the football real well and kind of tire out, I feel like, that defensive line of New Hampstead. But either way, the Pirates able to get the victory there last night, 52-24. But Johnson gets the victory over Jenkins last night there for the Adams Smashers. First win of 2021 for Johnson, 14-8. It was Islands defeating Savannah last night, 35-0 for the Sharks' second win of the season. Metter gets the win over Savannah Country Day, 40-10 there last night. John Millage Academy, man, John Millage, what a program that is, and 27 straight now for John Millage Academy. They defeat Savannah Christian 40-7. But that really, John Millage, kind of a program, kind of in a league of its own, as they're in Gisa there, and they're just rolling everybody right now. So John Millage, a very solid football team. Obviously, Calvary Day gets the victory at North Cobb Christian, 28-0 for the Cavaliers. Another big victory there. Charlton County gets the win over McIntosh County Academy, 22-8. It was South Effingham defeating Wayne County last night, 33-30. Porter God School got the victory over Bethesda Academy last night, 49-0 there as well at Daffin Park. That game scheduled there midweek for Bethesda after their last game was canceled, and sadly they come home with the loss there at Daffin. But Tift area able to beat Frederica Academy 29-7 there last night. Hilton Head Prep defeats St. Andrews 14-0. It was Hilton Head defeating Lake Marion 27-6 there as well. And some huge ones there. Beaufort getting the victory over West Ashley 38-7 last night also. But yeah, again, some big wins by some Savannah area schools. Gotta look good for Benedictine and feel good, I'm sure, to get that victory over North Oconee. That one, close late in the ball game before the Cadets able to stretch it out and get some big late touchdowns with 7-8 minutes to go left in the ball game. But the Cadets, Justin Thomas having a huge night, over 200 yards rushing on the night for Justin Thomas, and defensively able to come up big when they needed to there for Benedictine. But we'll hear from Danny Britt, head coach of the Cadets, here later in the show, and chat with him just about how much he thinks this team has progressed. Obviously, last week, tough losses over the first couple weeks of the season against some really good programs for the Cadets as well, but just not putting it all together, not executing extremely well to a high level. And I heard that from Coach Britt himself. But last night, obviously able to put it together, maybe not put it all together, some mistakes here and there still, but you're going to have that when you play football. So Benedictine able to put it together and get that victory over North Oconee. And really Justin Thomas able to show out big last night with over 200 yards rushing. For New Hampstead, they fall to Brunswick High there, and again, just not able to kind of respond and rebound from a fast start for the Pirates. It was 21-0 with 8 minutes to go there in the first quarter for the Pirates, and really every facet of the ball game coming up big for Brunswick High, as they were able to take the opening kickoff back all the way back to the 4-yard line there of New Hampstead, score on their first play from scrimmage there with Reese Simmons on the touchdown run. Ensuing possession, a tipped pass tipped up to Stephon Stanley for Brunswick High, gets the interception. A few plays later, Jacoby Hill runs it in for a 3-yard touchdown. And following that, a punt block for New Hampstead, for Brunswick High on New Hampstead. The Pirates get the ball there on the 9-yard line, starting for the second time in 3 drives inside the 10 of New Hampstead, starting a possession there. And Jacoby Hill, again, 9-yard touchdown run for the Pirates to make it 21-0. You take it from there. Really, New Hampstead plays pretty well throughout the whole rest of the night. Pauly Seeley able to get going after that, and he ends up finishing the night 14 for 37 there, 237 yards on the evening. Huge touchdown pass to Taranio Bias, who had 7 catches for 107 yards as well. And Pauly Seeley also another touchdown pass at the end of the second quarter for Samari Dowdy for 46 yards, and ended up being able to cut it within 2 possessions a few different times there, 31-16, 38-24 late. But Brunswick High's defense was able to seal up some late 4th down plays and a big fumble recovery as well in the middle of the game for the Pirates defense. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think New Hampstead played very solidly against a 6A team that's very deep there in Brunswick High and has a huge offensive line and defensive line as well, and certainly leaned on that last night. Of course, you have 7 rushing touchdowns from the Brunswick High Pirates, so really leaned on the rush game and on that big offensive line there for the Pirates. And I think, as Coach Hockman said in Savannah Now, and certainly appreciate Dennis Knight there with his Savannah Now stats, keeping us up to date here. Shout out to Dennis Knight for that. But no, can't hang your head about this one very much. I mean, Brunswick High, a very solid team. And at the end of the day, I believe the quote there was from Kyle Hockman. If we're going to lose, we're going to learn from it, right? And if we're going to lose, we're going to learn. So at the end of the day, New Hampstead certainly learning a few things there last night and being able to respond from that, have a bye week for the Phoenix coming up. So looking forward to seeing what they can do through that and keep on progressing. Is a lot of firepower there offensively for the Phoenix. They showed that last night, able to spread the ball around quite a bit still against a very tough defense. But still, Brunswick High just able to lean on that running game and get the big win there last night. But some big Other wins for Savannah area teams. Gotta congratulate the Atom Smashers there of Johnson coming home with a 14-8 victory over Jenkins, their first one of the year. Calvary Day traveling and showing out real well on the road there against North Cobb Christian, really controlling that ball game, especially defensively, winning that 28-0. And Islands getting their second win of the year there against Savannah, 35-0. So some big notable victories for Savannah area teams, and we'll look forward to seeing how, of course, these teams progress throughout the week, and looking forward to next week as well. But we'll come back, start talking to some high school football coaches here on the High School Sports Roundup, and get what they saw last night. First up, Danny Britt, head coach of the Benedictine Cadets, will join us here right around the corner on the High School Sports Roundup, fueled by End Market on ESPN Radio Savannah Hilton Head, the ESPN app, and ESPNCoastal.com. And welcome back. It's High School Sports Roundup here on ESPN Radio Savannah Hilton Head, the ESPN app, ESPNCoastal.com, all fueled by N-Market. PJ Zucco here with you this morning as we look at all these high school football games from last night and the big wins by some Savannah and Hilton Head area teams for sure. One of those, the Benedictine Cadets, as they get the victory over North Oconee last night, 48-17. Joining us now to chat with us about that big win for the Cadets, first one of 2021 here this season. Coach Danny Britt, head coach of the Benedictine Cadets, joins us here on the High School Sports Roundup. Coach Britt, great to have you on. How you doing this morning?
I'm good, PJ. Thank you for having me. I'm currently traveling up to Athens to go watch the Dogs play and, of course, see Southern cheer.
Yeah, Coach, absolutely, and certainly can't wait for that one. I know there's been a lot of talk about UAB and the Dogs here this afternoon. Who's playing there at quarterback, all that good stuff. But now, as you said, certainly look forward to seeing that here later this afternoon for Georgia, and of course you being able to see Southern there as well, and go out there and do her thing, no doubt. But Coach, you guys able to do that last night as you come out, take on North Oconee, able to take the lead there late in the second half, and then obviously pull away late as well and grab that first victory of 2021, 48-17.
Yeah, proud of the kids. Starting off 0-2 was miserable, and I think we were all feeling it. And so there was a release last night afterwards, a sense of relief, really. And the kids came out. We still had some major mistakes that we've got to fix, but the energy level and the contact, the physicality was there. And so I'm proud of them for that.
Yeah, Coach, absolutely. And that was, I think, my main question coming into today and after seeing that game last night is I know, you were disappointed with several different things over the course of those first couple games, and just what you saw from your guys and whatnot. But being able to progress through some of that there last night, it would be making some mistakes still and having a hiccup here and there. But how much do you feel like the team progressed from one week to another, from last Friday to this Friday night?
Yeah, definitely. We got better this week. We actually changed up how we're practicing, got a lot more people involved in the practice, getting a lot more reps. It's going to make us better. It made us better this week. It'll make us better every week and throughout the season, and how we're doing those things. And the kids sensed it, felt it, bought into it. And so we will continue to get better. And that's why you play really good teams, is they will force you to get better. And you don't really have the change when you're winning. Even when you win poorly, a lot of times you just don't have the change, but when you lose, baby, you figure out a way to get better from it, and I think we have, and hopefully we'll continue to improve each week.
Right, absolutely. Danny Britt, head coach of the Benedictine Cadets, our guest here on the High School Sports Roundup, fueled by N-Market. Get the victory over North Oconee last night, 48-17 there last night. But Coach, obviously, one of the big bright spots of the evening kind of jumps off the page. Justin Thomas, able to run the football for over 200 yards last night, had some huge gains there, especially in the second half. Huge impact being able to pull away from North Oconee with Justin Thomas rushing the football.
Yeah, definitely. One, I thought we got the edge well. We blocked. I think our tackles blocked well. Henry Hale specifically. So that we could get the edge. I think our slot backs blocked well so that we could. But then Justin, he's a special cat, and we know that. I mean, we've all seen it. He can do some things, but physically. But what really makes him special is what's inside his chest. He wants to win. He wants to be great. He's the type that when it comes to that time, he said, "Give me the ball," and it's never a bad play call to give number 4 the ball.
Right, Coach, absolutely. And you talk about Justin Thomas, obviously the whole offense working together to be able to have a really solid night. Always talk about Holden Garner and what he's able to do. Zacon Bryant making some big plays as well. Of course, you have plenty of other guys there Cam Edge making a big play and able to score a touchdown last night as well. So obviously the offense clicking to be able to pull away there late, especially in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, definitely. I thought, we had opportunities the whole game, and, we were doing that same sort of thing, is kind of keeping them in the game by turning the ball over, or defensively, my safeties got lost and gave up some big passes. So we've got to overcome that, but we did, and we're able to pull away in the second half, really, really big, so that we could then get some twos in, and actually we're able to sneak a few threes in for just a few minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. That always good for sure. And coach, defensively flipping into that side of the ball, North Oconee and an impressive offense, and defensively, you guys able to hold them to 17 points. Obviously, did disrupt what they were trying to do for most of the night, and obviously hold them down and come up big with some huge plays when the Cadets needed it.
Definitely, I think best night for played well. Without doing film study, just from watching the
core, and
And welcome back to the High School Sports Roundup here on ESPN Radio Savannah Hilton Head, the ESPN app, ESPNCoastal.com. PJ Zucco here with you, all fueled by End Market here on the Roundup. Let's go through it one more time here before we let you go and get you set for Georgia football here on ESPN Radio Savannah Hilton Head. Last night, you heard it here on ESPN Radio's coverage of Benedictine Cadets football presented by Savannah Toyota. It was Benedictine, the Cadets, defeating North Oconee 48-17 to win that one, get their first win of 2021 for the Cadets. Looked a lot better there last night and really solid. Yeah, a few hiccups here and there, but really able to impose their will on North Oconee, especially late in the ball game, and pull away 48-17. Also last night, you saw it on ESPNCoastal.com for ESPN's High School Game Day Game of the Week. Fueled by End Market, brought to you by Savannah and Low Country Honda dealers. It was the Brunswick High Pirates defeating New Hampstead 52-24, giving the Phoenix their first loss of 2021. Brunswick High scores 7 rushing touchdowns in that one, and the Phoenix have a tough night. Really, Brunswick High just starts the game extremely well in that one, getting up 21-0 with some big special teams plays that was huge, and of course rushing the football really well too. But New Hampstead going to go into a bye week, and they're going to be just fine. I think they competed really well throughout the whole game there last night, and the Phoenix going to be all right. Certainly the rest of the year. Is Brunswick High kind of a buzzsaw right now? I mean, that's a really good football team. But Islands gets the victory over Savannah as well, 35-0. It was Johnson over Jenkins, 14-8. Savannah Country Day falls to Metter, 40-10. John Millage Academy defeats Savannah Christian 40-7 last night as well. Charlton County defeating McIntosh County Academy 22-8. Calvary Day, the 28-0 victory, at North Cobb Christian. The Cavaliers rolling right now and dominating, especially defensively, 28-0 away from home. Certainly quieting that crowd there at North Cobb Christian as the Calvary Day winning some big ball games to start this 2021 season. Wayne County falls to South Effingham 33-30 last night. It was Porter God over Bethesda 49-0 there last night. And also Hilton Head Prep defeats St. Andrews 14-0. It was Hilton Head over Lake Marion 27-6. So that'll do it here for the High School Sports Roundup, fueled by End Market on ESPN Radio Savannah Hilton Head, the ESPN app, and ESPNCoastal.com. Of course, you have Georgia and UAB coming up here on ESPN Radio Savannah Hilton Head. Kickoff there at 3:30. So pregame starting in about 30 minutes here on ESPN Radio Savannah Hilton Head. So be sure to stay tuned for that. But we'll be back here with you next week from 10 to 11 every single week on the High School Sports Roundup, fueled by End Market on ESPN Radio Savannah Hilton Head, the ESPN app, ESPNCoastal.com. I'm PJ Zucco. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Stay safe. Remember 9/11, and God bless.